Before the French arrived, this stretch of the Red Sea shore was completely deserted. Only the fishermen occasionally sought shelter in the bay from the wind. The Afar used to call this place Djibouti, meaning tray, while the Issa had a much more menacing name, Djibouti, or defeated monster. But the French needed a port, and this is where they built it. The French territory of the Afar and the Issa ceased to exist in 1977, and that put the new Republic of Djibouti on the political map. A power shift took place in this palace. What was the French governor's residence became the official home of the Republic's first president, Hassan Gouled Abtidon. 36 years have passed since then, and the Republic of Djibouti remains one of the youngest and smallest countries in Africa. But there's an old saying that good things come in small packages. We'll try to show and prove that the very existence of the Republic of Djibouti validates that adage in many more ways than one. The city of Djibouti was founded as a port and naval base in 1888. After the Suez Canal opened, France was anxious to secure its strategic interests in the Red Sea and anchor its military presence, despite opposition from Great Britain. In the wake of the army came the architects, and with them, palaces, hotels, and restaurants began to appear. The builders were predominantly Hindu, and that's how the city gradually developed its peculiar East Indian style that still dominates today. Djibouti's City Hall, the so-called tobacco house embellished with archways and balconies. The old train station that survived since the colonial era. They still grace the city to this day. The French influence can be seen everywhere, including street names, the famous Cross of Lorraine, and biographies of famous poets and writers like Arthur Rimbaud, whose lives were closely linked with Djibouti. Yet there are also some Russian names, like Yuri Gagarin Avenue and Moscow Street. They'll undoubtedly please the Russian eye. Islam is the official religion in Djibouti. The Afar, who live here, are thought to have been the first African people to adopt Islam. However, both authorities and society embrace the concept of religious tolerance, a fact that speaks very highly of this young republic. Many churches, including the Catholic Cathedral of Our Lady of the Good Shepherd, a Protestant church and 2 Orthodox Christian churches, the Ethiopian Church of St. George among them, are all allowed to worship freely. Throughout Africa and the Middle East, the main market is a special, almost sacred place. It's central to economic and financial interests, as well as being the major source of local information and gossip. It's the place to meet and serves as a hub for all social activity. And Djibouti is no exception. The country's main advantage is its unique geopolitical setting, allowing it to function as a transit point for goods coming from many countries in the region, but primarily bound for Ethiopia with its 80 million strong population. The market demonstrates just how much these two countries, Djibouti and Ethiopia, depend on each other. Djibouti channels all of its huge neighbors' international trade. In return, Ethiopia provides the people of Djibouti with essentials like vegetables, fruit, grain, and khat. But more of that later. The streets of Djibouti are almost like open-air workshops for local weavers. Natural fibers from the doom palm tree are perfect for making durable and attractive straw mats, trays, picnic baskets and handbags. All these artisan crafts prove to be very popular with passing tourists. While walking the lively streets, trays covered with moist towels or rags often catch the eye. They sell khat here, and it's become a real obsession for many Djiboutins. This plant, with its mild stimulant properties, can't grow in the country because it needs a fertile soil and, even more importantly, plenty of fresh water. And so it's in very short supply here. Khat's brought in from Ethiopia every day, and God forbid that the delivery should ever be cancelled. An entire network of suppliers, wholesalers and retailers make sure that the Djiboutins get their fresh khat on time. If a cargo of khat fails to arrive in Tajura Bay, the people get nervous. Arguments and other problems flare up. That's why khat plays a very important role in society, appeasing the population and helping to maintain peace and order in the city. Dependence on khat explains why the entire country changes its routine and pace every afternoon. Many men relax in cafes. They chew on khat leaves, drink tea, coffee or coke, discuss the news and conduct their business. In short, changing the world around them. Khat is great for softening tempers and taking the edge off social problems. Peace within the country and a neutral foreign policy are the young state's strongest points. It's no stretch of the imagination to call Djibouti an oasis of stability in a region weighed down by international strife and violent conflict. There's a clear understanding that the only way for the country to benefit from its favorable geopolitical position is to preserve that stability. Djibouti learned quickly to capitalize on its geographic advantages. Marine security in the Bab el-Mandeb Strait on the Red Sea is secured by the naval strength of many countries, including France, USA, the EU countries, and even Japan. Surprisingly, we discovered that almost everyone we spoke to believed that Russia's permanent military presence in Djibouti was also highly desirable. Hosting foreign military contingents provides a sustainable income stream for the treasury, and even more importantly, steady economic growth for the country. Authorities are doing a lot to turn the country into an influential transit point, akin to a Dubai on the Red Sea. This is Djibouti's Minister of Transport. He's a graduate of the Moscow University of People's Friendship.
Actuellement, le port de Djibouti travaille avec une capacité de 10 millions de tonnes par an. Bon, les grands atouts de logistique, c'est d'abord les infrastructures que nous avons fait au niveau des ports. Il y a un certain nombre de ports qui sont déjà opérationnels. Donc le PID, donc l'ancien port, le port terminal conteneur de Dougalé, l'horizon, donc le terminal horizon pétrolier. Et actuellement, nous sommes en construction du port de Tajoura dans le nord du pays et du golfe de Tajoura. Nous avons en prévision aussi la construction d'un port minéralier au Gobet. Et puis nous avons programmé dans le courant de cette année de commencer un port de transport d'exportation de bétail par rapport à un grand port que nous avons l'intention, le pays a l'intention de construire à Dougalé, en remplacement de l'actuel port PID.
The minister also told us that he'd studied in the Soviet Union from 1974 to 1980, majoring in economics.
Спасибо вам большое. Благодарю Советский Союз. J'ai fait mes études à l'université des peuples. Nous avons eu des années très très heureuses. Nous remercions, nous sommes infiniment reconnaissants à l'Union soviétique qui nous a formés, qui nous a donné cette transformation indispensable que nous avons, je pense, mis au profit de notre pays, de notre peuple. Спасибо вам большое.
It may sound incredible, but Russians turned their attention to this land long before many Western powers did. Here's one interesting account. I once read that a Russian Cossack and adventure seeker named Ashinov made it to the Horn of Africa at the end of the 19th century, accompanied by a large troop of Cossacks and Russian outlaws. The declared goals for the expedition were to strengthen friendly ties with Abyssinia and to found the first Russian settlement on these lands. Whether the Cossacks came here of their own free will, or were driven out by secret royal order, or maybe even a plot cooked up by the Russian general staff, it all remains unknown. However, we do know that the expedition created a stir in the European capitals and was a complete failure. It was the French who were concerned the most, so they launched a naval bombardment, all but completely destroying the old citadel where the Russians were based. Hapless settlers were arrested and sent home. But it does show that Ashinov, when he first saw this land, was a geostrategic visionary, as we might say today. Stability, ensured by its own efforts and an international military presence, has allowed Djibouti to start promoting and developing tourism. A new luxurious Kempinski hotel was opened, and it's almost completely booked throughout the year. The islands of Mucha and Mascali, both 30 minutes drive from the capital, are popular with scuba divers and enthusiasts of the Red Sea's magnificent fauna. Many divers dream of seeing the underwater world of the Gulf of Aden and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait between the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean. These locations are among the top attractions in the world for divers for several reasons. Incredibly beautiful coral reefs, and at the bottom of the strait, a real ship's graveyard with vessels from various periods of history. It's estimated that a total of 1,500 to 6,000 ships have gone down in these waters. Djibouti has excellent trekking, surfing and windsurfing opportunities for extreme adventure aficionados, both on the water and among the sand dunes. The country boasts a wealth of natural wonders, like Assal, the saltiest lake in the world, or the moonscapes of Abbey Lake, and the forest oases, now transformed into national parks, all unquestionably worth seeing. There are only two places in the planet where it's possible to witness the birth of a future ocean ridge: Djibouti and Iceland. That's done by traveling to the Ardukoba region, to the canyons of the Great African Rift. This land won't be here forever. Scientists say that several million years from now, a new ocean will emerge from here, running close in size to the Atlantic. So you'd better hurry before it's too late. Near Ardukoba, on the edge of the rift and 157 meters below sea level, lies the amazing Assal Lake. It's the saltiest lake in the world and the lowest point on the African continent. Temperatures here are often as high as 55 degrees Celsius, while the lake's surface is covered by a 60-meter thick layer of salt. Sadly though, this wonder of the world will one day inevitably be swallowed up by the nascent ocean. But while it's still here, you can still enjoy a fantastic kaleidoscope of nature's colors and watch as caravans laden with salt set out for neighboring Ethiopia, just as they did 1,000 years ago. In the old days, the Red Sea shore, now part of Djibouti, was the destination for caravans from the heart of the African continent. They brought ivory, gold, and most importantly, slaves, to be sold in the markets of the Middle East and Asia. They left hauling weapons, fabrics, and tableware. Devil's Island provides a sinister reminder of those times. That's where the slaves were forced onto the ships that would take them away to be sold. From these rugged lands, you can buy unique souvenirs made from volcanic glass or stone, or covered with salt crystals from Lake Assal. In the towns, more traditional offerings are on sale, such as leather goods, palm fiber, or beaded ornaments. Another of Djibouti's strong points is its ability to preserve its people's traditions. We were lucky enough to witness the weddings of two main tribes, the Afar and the Issa. Our first was the Afar wedding, celebrated in what is probably the oldest town in Djibouti, Tadjoura, still the historic capital for local sultans. It's also known as White City, or the City of Seven Mosques. In the past, it was the main slave trading hub on the Red Sea. Guests were greeted with dances performed only by married women. Later, the unmarried women would take to the stage, wearing colorful Afar dresses and adorned with silver, gold, and amber jewelry. Their dance with Malabo daggers symbolizes the extremely warlike nature of the Afar people. The groom appears on horseback, accompanied by his men. He's heading for a traditional Afar house called a daboita, where later he will meet his young bride. The ceremony is accompanied by energetic, flamboyant dances performed by young men with sticks. The shepherd's staff symbolizes a nomadic way of life. A traditional offering is made to honor the newlyweds. The wedding lasts for a week, and every day is marked by particular ceremonies. Djibouti's population is almost 800,000. 35,000 are in the Afar region, and the Issa and other Somalian tribes account for 65%. The two tribes do differ, but also they have much in common. They're both Muslim, and their ancestors led nomadic lives. Their languages, as well as appearance, have many similarities, although that's never stopped them from fighting over pastures and water. The Issa live predominantly in the south of the country, and that's where we're headed. to the village of Al-Sabi to witness a Somalian wedding. When we arrived, preparations were in full swing. Girls decorate their hands with henna. Festive dishes are cooked in the desert. The bride finishes making a gift of a rug made of straw. Her mother whips milk, while her father cleans the traditional saber. Everything is conducted with due ceremony and almost deliberate slowness. When the time comes to dance, everything changes. Both in Issa and Afar tradition, a bride is brought to the traditional house by young girls, while the groom is escorted by young men. Before entering the house, they must walk round it 3 times for luck. Guests glorify the Prophet and ask for his blessing on the young family. The newlyweds then leave the house together. The first thing they do as a family is to sacrifice a sheep together. The newlyweds also dance the main dance together. The husband celebrates his wife. He sings, "I'm her first man, I'm worthy of her. I can sing and dance, I am an ideal husband." So what's so special about this small country? You might well ask, and if you do, you'll probably hear many completely different answers. Some people come here to enjoy a safe holiday. Others fall under the spell of wild landscapes and ethereal beauty, and yet more are attracted by the underwater riches of the Red Sea. But I believe that the inimitable charm of Djibouti is the chance it offers to feel the incredible richness and variety that it has to offer. Plus, everyone really has to go to Djibouti, if only for the sole purpose of knowing that there are places on this earth which provoke the very thought that being alive fills you with a sense of infinite gratitude.